Okay, you've probably seen the other video about the Suunto Core guts. Are they interchangeable or not? So if you haven't, go check out that video first if you're curious about the inner workings of the watch or anything like that, or how good the watch is in build quality. I do the stainless model, but now I'm going to be showing you the polymer version that I do wear daily and have for, well, a few years now. I can't exactly tell you how many years, but it's been a while. And well, is this watch worth it? That's the question. Absolutely. All right, if that's all you needed to know, you can stop the video now. Absolutely, it is worth it. This watch, I have put through so much abuse the last few years. Every day it's been worn. I've gone for 3 battery changes. I get about 1 year and 4 months on a battery. I turned off the beeps, so there's no beeping when you hit it. I use the light maybe a few times a week. That's it. I don't use it every single day, but I definitely use it probably maybe 3 times at least on average. So if you're kind of getting an idea of how often I use it to get that kind of battery life. I don't use the alarm. I just don't need to. But this watch, if you'll notice, I should clarify something. I said it was an acrylic crystal in the other video. It's actually mineral crystal. And I was very surprised to see, I do a lot of welding, and you can see, well, you might not be able to see in this shitty flip cam video, but there's a lot of little pock marks from the sparks and spatter that hit the watch face, and they kind of dug little holes all throughout the face of it. I have smashed this watch right on the buttons on metal and brick walls and things like that. And you know, every time it happens, and it happens often, I always worry, oh my God, now is the time I finally broke a button or something, right? Nope, the buttons are just as silky smooth as they always were since day one. These buttons feel, and I should tell you that I press these buttons probably thousands of times, more than the average person, and I'll tell you why. I time a lot of things. As a professional singer, I time my warm-ups, my scales, and then my singing session every single day of my life. I'm always resetting the stopwatch. These stopwatch buttons here have been pressed thousands of times by now. I time everything. I time things I do in the workshop, timing epoxies, all kinds of things. This watch is with me every day, so I'm using these buttons constantly. I've pressed these so many times, it's ridiculous. So I don't question the reliability, the mechanical aspect of this watch. But one thing I will tell you is I had to change the band twice. The original polyurethane molded strap that came with this, it really only lasted a year before it just split. Just, you know, so after the second one, because I had a few new ones, brand new, because you know I own a few of these watches. I had to buy a NATO strap, and this NATO strap has held up for quite some time. No issues with it. I just put the Suunto Core lugs and, you know, threw them on. But yeah, this watch has taken some serious hits. I mean, like loud smacks against steel and things in the shop. Cars, being underneath a car, and you're trying to reach for something, and it's a really narrow passageway, and the watch just winds up scraping, and you're trying to get your arm there with a wrench. This watch has survived. Not very pretty for it, but you can see all the anodized color has been worn off. You can tell that there's been a lot of hits this thing has taken, but no issues whatsoever. This watch does seem to be bulletproof. You know, I've had G-Shocks in the past and never really had any problem with them. I've had problems with all the bands breaking. All the Casio watches I've owned, I've had the bands break and just said, oh, screw this. I'm not going to do this. So, you know, this one is pretty cool to have a changeable band. I can't say anything really bad about this watch. Nothing. There's really nothing. Not after all this thing I've put through, and you know, it's just, yeah. I can't say there's anything wrong with this band. It is definitely, is it worth the money? Absolutely. Absolutely. So that's just a little bit of a follow-up I wanted to do in case anybody wanted to know my results with the watch, how it had been treating me, and all this time. And if you're on the fence about the watch, you know, it's just my experience with it. And, you know, so that's it. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you got a little information. I'll try to answer any questions I can, although I don't really moderate this YouTube channel that you're going to be seeing this, but I'll stop back every few months maybe and just see if there's any new questions or whatnot. So enjoy.